Hi and welcome. My name is Holly and I am with Perpetual Fitness Training. Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, calling all golfers for this yoga routine today. This was designed specifically for people that golf. Now, I am not a golfer, but my husband is, and so I designed this routine specifically for him, but it can benefit everyone, whether you're a golfer or not a golfer. I have lots of clients that like to tell me that this feels good for them even though they're not golfers. So anyone can really do this, but we specifically work things that golfers, we really focus on things that golfers need to continue that swing, that core stability, all of that kind of stuff. So go ahead and grab a mat, nice quiet place, maybe some music playing, whatever you need, and let's get started. All right, we're going to start on the floor today, so go ahead and make your way down to the floor, finding a comfortable position. So for me, this is just crisscross, easy pose, this is called, but anything that works. You can have one leg in, both legs out. It's about your comfort. So let's go ahead and find those sits bones. I like to kind of move things out of the way and find those sits bones. And I want you to find them because I want you over the center of those sits bones. You'll be able to tell if you're leaning forward or back, but you want to be right over the center. Lift the heart, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. So you're taking those shoulder blades and you're bringing them towards your spine, opening up through the collarbone. You're reaching out through the crown of the head, trying to bring space into each vertebrae. Close the eyes and let's focus on that breath. Inhaling through the nose. Slowly exhaling through the nose. We're just bringing our awareness to our body, to the yoga practice. Trying to block out any outside distractions, stressors, to-do lists. Just take this time for yourself. As you exhale, think about relaxing in the body. So find places in the body that are tight or holding on to stress. So some of the big ones are in the face, the jaw, and the muscles around the eyes, the shoulders, the hips. Just bring your exhale to those areas, trying to relax down. Feel that body slowing down, bringing balance into your life. We're going to take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to drive the chin to the chest. We're going to lift the heart. So just stretching through the back of the neck. This may move down the spine. That's okay. Just means those muscles are a bit on the tight side. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, slowly roll right ear to right shoulder. Hold. We're heavy in that left shoulder. Think about reaching the crown away, reaching toward the ceiling with your ear. Big inhale. As we exhale, come back to the center and moving to the other side. Heavy through the right shoulder, reaching the crown out, reaching the ear up. Coming back to the center, let's go ahead and take that head up. Nice big inhale, back of the head toward the spine, teeth together, chin pointing up toward the ceiling. And gently bring that head back to center. We're just going to look over that right shoulder. This is nice and easy. Just warming up the cervical neck, the cervical spine, otherwise known as your neck. Coming back to the center, nice big inhale, exhale, other side. Stay lifted through that heart. And coming back to the center, let's go ahead and take our first hip hinge. Remember, this comes from the pelvis, not from the spine. Just go until you feel the initial pull. And this can be hips, it can be low back. Sometimes if you're really tight in the inner thighs, I have felt it there before. So just kind of where you first initially feel it. Then I want you to come out of it and take a nice big inhale. And then we're going to go ahead and do that again. Hip hinge, bringing that chest down. Hold. And pushing against the floor, gently coming up. Nice big inhale. This one we're going to hold. Exhale, hip hinge. So this is coming from the pelvis rather than the spine. Hold. And now just nice and easy, side to side. Make this a small movement. We're just kind of waking up the low back. and back to the center. Let's gently lift up. Now we're going to take those hands behind our back and the fingertips are going to point away. You're going to squeeze those blades together, lift that heart, and just look up like you're feeling the sun on your face. One more big inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and release that. We are going to take those legs straight, but I want you to remember which leg is in front. So you're just going to take those legs out in front of you. I'm going to turn sideways here. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Now, if you have a strap, you're welcome to use that. Your hands can come to your legs. But again, this happens from the pelvis, so it's not really about touching the toes. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, press those hips behind you or the tailbone behind you as you reach the hips forward, holding at the pull. And that can be, again, in different areas. Generally, it's my low back that stops me in this area. That's what I feel first. And then you're going to come out of it and take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come down again. Now, if this is a struggle for you, your hands can come behind your back and you're working to stay up nice and tall. So you have those hands behind you as just a little helper. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale one last time, bringing that chest down. And then we're just going to slowly come on up. We are going to take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. It can also be on top. The right hand behind, we're going to lift up off the diaphragm, and then we're just going to spiral a little bit to the side, and we're just going to hold. So this is nice and easy. Again, it's kind of our first twist right through that thoracic. So we want to be gentle. Coming back to the center, inhale. As we exhale, we're going to switch to the other side, lifting up and off the diaphragm before we twist. Shoulders relaxed. And release and come back to the center. Now we're going to take this a little bit deeper. We're going to take that right foot and place it on the outside of the left leg. We're going to take the left hand and you can either hug or you can go up and over depending on your flexibility. I'm going to demonstrate the hug. The right hand is behind. We're going to lift up. Nice big inhale. We pull the knee into our chest as we slowly look a little bit deeper than our last twist, always pulling in our belly, lifting up and out of our spine. Breathe into that chest as your belly should be pulled in really tight. And release. All right, let's go ahead and move that to the other side. Bringing that leg, hug, lifting up, left hand behind. We reach out of the body and then we twist. Breathe. That extended leg should be flexed. And release it, coming back to the center. All right, we're going to bring those legs back in, but this time you're going to cross them with the other leg in front. We're up nice and tall. We're finding those sits bones, lifting out of the spine, reaching to the ceiling with the crown of the head. Shoulders are down and pulled back. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to hip hinge. We're going to go deeper this time, hopefully. Hold at the pull. Now, keeping that tummy tight, I want you to gently move side to side. So as you move to the right, you're pressing that left hip down. As you're moving to the left, you're pressing that right hip and sits bone down. So just imagine your hip and your sits bones are the anchor, and you're trying to pull that muscle as far away from the anchor as you can. Now we're all going to go to the right, and we're going to hold on that right side. Those hands reach out. They can be next to each other or left on top of right. You're going to feel the stretch in the left. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, press the left hip and sits bone down. You can reach those arms out a little further. You can also give more rotation if you like, or twist. But where I want you to feel this is in that low back area. Maybe it'll be in the hip or further up in that spine. Take nice deep breaths. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, we're just going to slowly move to that other side. Hands reach out. They should be coming straight out of the knee. Both hands on the floor or right hand on top of left. Shoulders down. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Walk it out a little further if you can. Heavy through this right hip. Feeling that through that low back. If you're not feeling it, that's okay. Just breathe into the back rib cage. And then release and gently come to the center. And then nice flat back. Let's go ahead and take it up. Grab a hold of those knees. I want you to tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, and C-curve and just come back. You can stay right here or you can rock. Just opening up through that back body. Okay, now we're going to work on the wrists. So we're going to take those arms out to the side. We're going to bring them forward and we're going to take the right on the bottom, the left on the top, and I want your hands to come together. We're going to take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we're going to draw the hands to the chest. We're going to drop the elbows and shoulders down as we bring the arms up underneath the chin. So let me repeat that. From this hand-held position, you bring it up and you drop it down. From here, this is where the stretch happens. You start to bring that away from the body. You're maybe going into a full extension. Maybe you can only get 3/4 of the way. Your body will tell you quickly if you've gone too far. Wherever it is, I just want you to hold it and breathe. So stretching through the wrist, it might move all the way down into that elbow. One more big inhale. And then exhale, undo that. And then just change the hand that's on the top. Hold those hands, bring them to the chest as you drop the elbows down. Hands come under the chin. Big inhale, exhale. This is where we start to pull it away from the body, taking it as long as you can. Just know that each arm is different. Breathe. And go ahead and bring it back into the chest and back out. Give it a little shake. All right, moving on to the shoulders. Arms come back out to the side. We're going to drop the left right on top. And then we're just going to bring those hands up. The back of the hands come toward each other, or you can bring palm to palm. If you can't get palm to palm, back of the hands together works fine. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, your arms go straight up toward the ceiling, shoulders down. Hold and breathe. Feeling this in the upper back and shoulders. And slowly release. They come back out to the side. And now we're just going to go ahead and reverse that. Bringing those hands together. And then once again, bringing it up. Shoulders down. One more big inhale, and then exhale, release that. All right, give that a little shake. All right, back to the wrist. So you're just going to take the hand out in front of you. You're going to point the fingers toward the floor. I want you to take with your other hand, you're going to grab the palm, right, the pad of the hand, and you're going to use that to pull back and stretch the inside part of this wrist here. Fingers can point down or you can relax them. I don't want you to push on the fingers. I really want it to be more palm driven. Big inhale and exhale and switch. And release. And now we're going to go back to that other hand. Same thing, but this time your top wrist is getting stretched. So now you're going to just pull the palm like you're trying to touch your palm to your forearm. And switch. Good. Feel free to repeat these as much as you need to throughout the day. These are easy stretches to do in the car, at your desk, in bed, in a chair, anywhere. So if your wrists feel tight, this is a great one to do. All right, let's go ahead and shake that out. We are going to move into tabletop. So go ahead and take your time. And come on up with those knees underneath the hips. The wrists are underneath those shoulders. Those fingers are nice and wide. And we're going to go right into cat and cow. So we're dropping our belly. We're looking up. We're opening up through our collarbone. So you're just trying to pull your shoulders away and open, really dropping that belly. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, tuck and round. You're tucking the tailbone. You're pushing with those hands. Inhale, drop and look up. Moving with your breath. When you're ready to exhale, tuck and round. Really push the spine to the ceiling. Last time, inhale. And then exhale, tuck and round. And come back to the center. We are going to move into hero's pose. So let me grab my block, because this can be very handy if you have tight knees like I do. They don't like hero's pose. So if you can just sit back, glutes to heels, that's where you're going. If you struggle, you can place the block between your thigh and your calf, keeping the hands forward, right? You can place it a little further, still keeping the hands forward, or at any time you can come up into this seated position. So go ahead and find your best hero's pose, whatever works for you today. Back of the hands toward the thighs. Let your fingers curl in. Pull your blades back so you're opening up through the chest. Those shoulders are down. That tummy is tight. Make sure we are in neutral through that chest. So that just means I don't want your ribs flaring. Pull your ribs towards your hip bones and just breathe. As you're sitting here, you're really being aware of what's tight in the low body. You're trying to release anything that's crossing that knee joint. So quads, glutes, hamstrings, anything below the knee, right? Calves, and then also your hips. Just think about relaxing through your hips. And just breathe here for a couple more breaths. One more. Excellent. We're going to come out of that and just give your legs a little break. You can take them back one at a time. We're going to go back into that stretch, but we're just going to add a little something different. So from that tabletop, this time you're going to curl your toes under. So this may feel a very different. And then you're just going to go ahead and slowly come on back. And you can, again, you can keep everything right here, or you can slowly come on up, and that puts more and more pressure to stretch through those toes. Should never be painful, but this may be one you can't really sit in for a really long time. A lot of us don't stretch our toes out. Give me one more big inhale. And exhale. All right, go ahead and come off of that. Take that block out to the side. You can stretch those legs back one at a time and just release. Now we're going to move into a downward dog. So we're going to find that tabletop one more time. Nice wide fingers. Curl those toes. Press those hips up. We're going to start with a bent knee position, really pushing the chest toward those thighs, shoulders away from the ears. Knees stay bent so we can really focus on getting that tailbone up, pressing the chest in. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale with a tight tummy, you're going to control the descent back down to the floor. We're going to take a nice big inhale. And then exhale once again, pressing that chest toward the thighs, tailbone up, shoulders away from the ears. Now you can take both legs straight, or you can jog those heels, right? If this is your first downward dog, it may be a little tight to just pop right up into straight leg downward dog, but do what you can. Mess with that tailbone. You're really trying to press that tailbone up, even if it means you need to bend your knees a little bit to be able to keep that tailbone up. And now we're going to slowly come down. All right, so your option is to do that downward dog again or move into twisted down dog with me. Take a big inhale and exhale it. So go ahead and slowly come on up. Find that good downward dog. You're going to transfer the weight to your feet and your right hand. With your left hand, you're going to reach and come across and try to grab on that right side. And then from there, you can also twist and look underneath that arm. and release, coming back to the center. And now working to that other side. Take that right hand, grab that left side, look underneath the arm if you can. And come back to the center, and then slowly, in control, back down. All right, from here, we're going to stay in this tabletop position, but I want you to kind of just go between a little bit of a cat and cow and a cat and a cow is what I meant to say, between a cat and a cow. And then I want you to find neutral. So that's where you're not dropping the belly, but you're not tucking and rounding. Neutral. Tummy's nice and tight. You could balance a full glass of water on your spine. Keeping the idea of a full glass of water in your spine, we're going to move into bird dog. So this is all about weight transference. So when we lift this right leg back, I don't want you to come into that left hip. I want you to keep the weight exactly where it is. We're going to flex that right foot, and we're just going to slowly take it out behind us so that we have that nice straight leg. I'm squeezing into my right glute. My leg is not high. It's parallel to the floor. And I haven't dumped the weight over into that left hip. Now, if you can keep that nice and tight, now we're going to take that opposite arm, bicep near ear, active fingers reaching out as the shoulders reach down toward our back pockets. Keep breathing. And now we're going to slowly bring it back down. We're going to go leg first, keeping balanced, and then hand. And go ahead and shake that out, and then we're going to move to that other side. So finding that tabletop, go through that cat and cow again if you need to. Pulling that belly up, flexing that left foot without transferring the weight to the right. We're going to lift that leg up and then take it out straight, parallel to the floor, foot is flexed. Tummy's nice and tight. When you feel ready, if you feel ready, right arm out. Training the core, the spine, and the belly. Making them stronger. Just keep the breath flowing. And slowly down. So we're going to take the leg first, keeping balanced, and then the hand. Good. Go ahead and shake it out. So back from this tabletop position, we're going to take the right hand behind the ear, and we're going to really squeeze that right elbow. We're going to inhale and open up to the side, and then exhale. We're just going to let that elbow move toward the floor. Maybe it'll touch, maybe it won't. Inhale, open. Trying to come open a little more. Exhale, trying to come a little deeper. One more time, nice big inhale. And exhale. You can keep the elbow down, or you can reach that arm underneath for a thread the needle. Letting that shoulder drop, pressing into that left hand, rotating to look up to the ceiling. The arm can come up. It can also come behind the back. I prefer it to be on the floor, but whatever you need. Nice big inhale. Exhale, slowly come on out of it. And let's go ahead and do that to the other side. So let's go ahead and take that left hand behind the ear. Squeeze the shoulder blade toward the spine so that elbow lifts. Take a nice big inhale, open. Exhale, come down and try to touch that elbow to the floor. Inhale, a little more open. Exhale, maybe a little deeper in that twist. Last time, inhale. And exhale, so the elbow can come down if that's enough for you, or if you want to continue, reach that hand through, let that shoulder drop. Keeping that right hand down, reaching it up, or coming behind the back with it, whatever works for you. One more big inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to unwind ourselves and find our way back into that tabletop. All right, so from here, we're going to move into pigeon. Now, you have options here as well. If you need to modify pigeon, all we're going to do is start by taking the right knee in front of the left knee and just walking that left knee back. So you're coming straight onto the leg. Okay, that tends to be easier on the hip, but it may be maybe a little crankier for the knee. Or you can find traditional pigeon with me. We're going to take that right foot in front of the left, and we're bringing that shin more forward. Please make sure it doesn't go parallel to the front of your mat. That's a lot of torque on your knee. From here, you're just going to lift that back knee, walk it back. And the idea is that you're trying to get that glute and that thigh to touch the floor. So you're really working on pressing everything down into the mat. Be aware, you may roll onto your glute side. I want you to stay center. Really work to stay center. Walk those hands toward the legs first. Let those hips drop, looking forward. Take a nice big inhale. You can stay right here, or exhale. You can walk those hands out. Maybe slowly come on down to those forearms. Maybe you want to come all the way flat. You can use a block either for your arms, or if you want to use a block to rest your head upon. Whenever you get to your end position, I want you to focus on the breath. So you're taking nice big inhales, slow extended exhales. Think about relaxing the ball and the socket. Stretching out through that hip. Just keep allowing that pelvis to drop to the mat. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly make your way back up. And then you're just going to slowly bring that front leg back. And you can extend it behind you just for that counter stretch. All right, we're going to go ahead and move into that other. So you're going to bring that left side or that other side forward. You're going to walk that right leg back and just slowly sink down. Start with the hands near the leg first so that you can really focus on the hip drop. Dropping toward the center of your mat, staying center of your body. And then take a nice big inhale, and as you exhale, go ahead and move into your next position. You're welcome to stay on the arms for a while, of course, before you move flat. I always recommend that, to move in stages, nice and easy on that body, but wherever you need to go. Maybe you want that block. Just breathe. And then when you're ready, from flat to elbows, from elbows to hands, and then just drag this leg back. Take it all the way behind you for a stretch. All right, moving into a modified lunge. Let's go ahead and take that right foot forward to the front of the mat. You can sweep it forward or you can grab a hold and bring it forward. But when you drop, I want your ankle and your knee to be stacked. You'll know you're in the right position because you can lift your toes up. If you can't lift your toes up, you're probably in this position here, and that isn't where I want you. So go ahead and bring that foot more toward the front of your mat. Sink down. You can use a block. You can also place your hands on your thighs. But once again, this is about bringing your hips down toward the floor, staying equal. So try not to list to one side. Try to stay in the center. If you need to come in and out of it, you can, or you can just hold it. It's your practice, whatever feels good for you. All right, you can stay right here. Or if you want to move a little deeper, we're going to take that right hand to the right thigh. We're going to press that knee away as we kind of twist to that right side, rolling onto the pinky toe. And if you would like to go even further, you can take this back leg, you can take the heel toward the glute. Make sure you're on the muscle above the knee, not the kneecap. And if you really are flexible, you can reach back and grab that back leg. I cannot do that today. My quads are way too tight for that today. Hold and breathe. And let's go ahead and lift it up and bring that leg back. Stretch it behind you if you like. And let's go ahead and bring that other leg forward. And let's go ahead and sink those hips down, releasing into that stretch. You go ahead and stay right there. I'm going to turn so that I'm facing you with this next phase of this stretch. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, the right hand moves to the floor, left hand to the thigh. We're going to push that knee out to the side as we roll to the pinky toe, drop the hips, and look to that left. And we're going to hold and breathe. And then, if you'd like, find the muscle above the kneecap, flex the foot, bring it in, point the toe either way. So if you're not reaching back to grab it, I like to flex my foot and push it in. I find that when I point my toes up, I tend to get more cramps, but whatever works for you. Just try to keep pressing those hips down. Oh, this side's a lot tighter, much tighter. One more big inhale. And exhale, let's go ahead and bring it. Now we're going to keep that front leg forward. We're just going to plant that whole foot, curl the back toe, stutter step, and come on up into a forward fold. Pull that belly in. Think about taking that tailbone up to the ceiling, hands off the floor. And you can hold here. Let's release the neck, chin to chest. Head all the way back. Just a slow nod of the head. Coming back to the center, and then it's chin to shoulder, side to side. And release those hands down. Let those hands just hover if they're touching, and you're just going to slowly sway side to side. So figure eights with the hands. You can also do this with those arms, grabbing a hold of those elbows. And coming back to the center, let's bend those knees and slowly ragdoll up. Pressing through those feet, grip the mat. Shoulder roll at the top. So we are going to step back. Let's step back with that left foot, and we're going to find warrior feet. So nice and wide. The line of the arch intersects the line of the heel intersects the middle of the arch. We're going to take those hips and we're going to turn them to the front. So you may need to adjust that back foot a little bit. All right, so bring those hips forward. We're pulling back on the right hip as we're pressing that left hip forward. We're sinking into that front knee. So you have lots of strength in this front leg. We're pressing through the pinky toe of that back leg. So you're kind of like you're pushing each one away from each other, but into the ground. So into the ground and then away. Hips are forward. You can keep your hands at your hips or reach them up for warrior one. Really work on those hips. You're pulling back on the right. You're pressing that left hip forward. Really trying to get those hips forward. Feel what your body has to do to bring those hips forward, to have that movement. And then exhale, release those hands down. We're going to come up on the back toes. And all you're going to do is just kind of stutter step yourself forward. Your goal is to have your feet both pointing forward, but they're on separate skis. Okay, so instead of being on the same ski, they're separated, or two train tracks. If you need to turn that back foot a little bit for balance, feel free. All right, it's all about kind of that front leg anyway. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, press the hips back. Nice flat back. Feel the pull in the hamstrings. Release the hands to the leg as long as you're avoiding the knee joint. Take a nice big inhale. If you want to go deeper, exhale. The deepening happens from the pelvis. So we're not rounding our back. You're just going to go until you can't go anymore. You're just going to hold it. Breathe. Shoulders relax. Pyramid. right, to come back up, your hands can be on your hips or they can reach out overhead. Press through those legs. The front knee can be bent, coming all the way up. Release it down. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we're going to come back into that warrior. So lining up, then we bring the hips forward and we adjust that back foot as we need to. Pulling back on the left, pressing that right hip forward. Bend into that knee. Press into that pinky toe. Find your stopping position. Then the arms come up and hold. Good, really working on the hips. Pulling back on the left, pressing the right this time. And then release those hands down. You're just going to slowly stutter step, bringing those feet. They're usually about 3 feet apart or so, whatever feels comfortable for you. Trying to get those feet parallel. Ooh, arms reach up, nice big inhale. Exhale, press the hips back. Slowly coming down. You're pushing back with the glutes as you take that tailbone up toward the ceiling. Pause. If you can get a little deeper, again, this happens from the pelvis instead of dropping down. Let it come from the pelvis. One more big inhale. On the exhale, hands to the hips or reaching over, front leg straight or bent. Slowly come up, squeeze your glutes and release it. Okay, so starting at the front of your mat, I'm going to turn so you can see me. We're just going to find mountain. We're going to move into chair pose. So strengthening into that low back and into those legs. Take a nice big inhale, arms reach up. Keep those arms up or they can come into prayer. Let's go ahead and take it back into a squat. So you're pressing your hips back. The weight is in the heels. You should be able to lift your toes. And instead of keeping your chest down at the floor, I want you to focus on lifting that chest up. You're going to feel the strength through that low back. If it's too much for the low back, try with your hands at your heart center. That'll be less for that low back. And now we're going to press. We're just going to come up. Give a little shake. All right, you can take this next one into fierce with me, or you can stay in that chair pose. It's going to be completely up to you. So finding the mountain. Take a nice big inhale. Hands up or in prayer. Exhale. Find that good chair pose. Lifting that heart as much as you can. If you want to move into fierce, up on the pads of the feet and the toes. Make sure you're pressing on all 5, especially the big toe, and you can sink lower. Tummy is tight. And then heels down, press. Come on up. Release it down. Give it a little shake. Whew. All right. Finding that mountain. Let's find that breath. Anytime you're working with those big leg muscles, it'll get that heart rate up a little bit. So we're just going to take an opportunity to take some deep breaths here. Finding that center. Quieting the mind. Relaxing those shoulders. One more big inhale. Slow exhale. All right, let's move into a side stretch. We're going to take that right hand, and it can either be on your hip or it can be moving down your leg. I like it on my leg. Either way is fine. Take a nice big inhale with the left arm up, bicep near ear, shoulder down. So imagine you have big hoop earrings. You're trying to leave space for those earrings. Big inhale and exhale, keeping that gaze up. We have active fingers. We're actively trying to reach something just out of reach. Big inhale. Exhale, let's gently move to that other side, reaching up and out. Big inhale. Exhale, moving back to that first side. Good, moving a little bit differently. We're going to hold. You're welcome to stay here. Big inhale or exhale. Keep reaching out with the fingertips as you rotate that chest toward the floor. Those hips stay forward. You can use that right hand to help if you need to. So feel how that shifts down that spine, moves into that lat. Open up, slowly come up, and we're going to switch to the other side and reach. So this is just to find the right position to reach those fingers, and then we rotate that chest down, but the hips stay pointing forward. Nice big inhale. Exhale, untwist, and gently come on up. Whew. Give it a little shake. All right, moving into a little balance work. We're finding that mountain pose once again. And at first, we're just going to move side to side. We're transferring the weight, but I want you to not transfer it into the hips. Right? Moms especially do that, because we usually have baby on the hip. Keep those hips, keep from dumping into those hips. Would probably be a better way to say that. So just moving from foot to foot. Now maybe see if you can lift up all but the toes. So as you transfer the weight, you're doing everything to keep from dumping into that hip and just to get 3/4 of the foot off. Now, if that's a struggle or you're really worried about your balance, you can stay doing this or start to lift that foot up. Again, without dumping into that hip or transferring everything to that other side. Good, one more time. Each side. Perfect. All right, so that's going to prepare us for tree, so finding mountain. Our big toe has a big piece of chalk on it. From here, you're going to reach that right toe out in front. We're going to take it and make a little half circle, and you're going to try to cross the midline of your body. Then we're going to take it back out to the side. We're going to rotate so the knee points out, the heel points in. Arms float up to a T. We're going to drag that foot in. This is your first position. Your heel is against the ankle with those toes down. Second position is to walk it up to the calf. As soon as you do that, you really have to focus on pressing that knee back. Squeeze into those external hip rotators, into that glute, and press that knee back. The next stage is to grab it, bring it above the knee. We never place the foot on the knee, but same thing, squeeze that knee open. Arms can float up at any time. You can also move into the final stage, which is a bound position. The blade of the foot goes into the crook of the hip, maybe. You're going to drop that knee down. You're holding on with the left hand as the right hand comes around and grabs a hold of the elbow. The key here being you really have to push that knee toward the floor. So really find whatever works best for you and hold. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we're just going to slowly release it, and we're just going to shake that out. So you'll feel the muscles around that ankle getting some work. Hopefully, keep that stabilizing knee soft. I think I forgot to mention that. Let your body move. That's not a bad thing. It's your body learning how to balance, strengthening all those muscles, all those joints. So back in a mountain. So now it's going to be the left big toe forward. You're going to slowly draw a half circle, crossing the midline. Come out to the side. Knee goes out, heel goes in. Drag everything in. Position 1. 2, squeezing that knee back. Move to your final position. Arms can come up when you're ready. Of course, you can also have it at prayer. That's fine too. But really keep that knee open. If you're in that bound position, you're going to drop the knee toward the floor. Good, soft, stabilizing leg. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we're just going to slowly release that. Oh, give it a little shake. All right, let's go ahead and take it. We're going to take it to the floor, but let's go ahead and flow that way. So from mountain, take a nice big inhale up. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Let's come up halfway flat back. Reaching the head forward as you reach the tailbone backward. And then exhale into forward fold. Step back right and left, finding tabletop. All right, from here, we're just going to take those hands out. We're going to keep our hips up. Extended puppy. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Let's press that chest toward the floor. You're trying to get your rib cage, the center rib cage, to touch. So think sternum or heart to the floor. Let that forehead touch. If your sternum can actually touch, then it's chin to the floor. But you're really focusing on pressing that chest down, keeping the hips up, and you'll feel this underneath the shoulder blades. One more big inhale. As we exhale, press into the floor, slowly coming up and bring those hands underneath those shoulders. All right, we're going to come down onto our belly. So walk those legs back. You're just going to slowly sink down the best way you can to come onto that belly. All right, from here, we're going to take the hands on either side of the chest. You're going to have them more kind of, I guess, toward the ears than back by the shoulders. So hands by the ears. Let those elbows just drop. We're going to be heavy in those legs. We have nice, strong, active legs. A gentle squeeze of the glutes. And as we do this, we're going to pretend we have a ball, just a little like 10-inch ball in front of our chest. And we're trying to push the ball out with our rib cage as we lift our heart up. You're going to hold and just breathe. Those shoulders are away from the ears. You're using the forearms. You're pushing into the floor to help lift everything up. Working on that spinal extension. The gaze is just forward. Take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we slowly come back down. And you're just going to take it down onto one cheek. Relax your glutes. Relax your legs. Catch your breath. Let's go ahead and bring it back into position. Let that head just lift off the mat, reaching out with the crown. Take a nice big inhale, heavy in the legs, pressing the hips. Nice big inhale, exhale, lift. You're pressing that ball up. As you come up, maybe a little higher. Maybe you can get those forearms off the mat. Maybe you can just hover the elbows. Shoulders are away from the ears. We're pressing that chest out and up, looking straight ahead. Gentle squeeze to the glutes, heavy active legs. Big inhale and exhale. Let's slowly take it down. And moving on to the other cheek, relax the glutes. All right, we're going to do this one more time. We're going to add on, but if you'd like to, you can just keep doing what works for you, staying in that cobra or coming up a little higher, or this last option, so coming back to the center. Shoulders are down, tummy is tight. Lift your heart, push that ball away as you lift up. Legs are heavy, glutes gently squeezed. Come up as high as you can. So you can stay right here. Or if you can come all the way up, you're going to take the right hand to the center. Left hand goes back to the thigh. Nice big inhale. Exhale, you're just going to twist open and look to that left. And release it to the center. Change those hands. Right hand goes back. Nice big inhale. Exhale, lift and twist. And release that back to the center. In control. Slowly back down. And then you're going to go ahead and just roll over onto your back. So making that nice, easy transition onto our spine. Okay, from here, we got to stretch what we just did. So bring the knees into the chest. You can also lift that head up. You can rock side to side, whatever feels good to you. You can even do little circles. Just make sure you go both directions. Whew. All right. Down to our last couple poses here. Let's go ahead and plant the feet. I want to get another hip stretch in as well as a back stretch. So we're going to combine the two. So let's take that right ankle over the left knee. Press that right knee away. If this is enough, you're going to stay here. If you feel that right hip. If you want to go a little deeper, you're going to bring both legs in, flexing both feet. You're going to reach through and grab that thigh and just bring everything in. If you can go deeper, you can reach through and grab the shin, but make sure that you're not lifted off the floor to grab it. Your shoulders aren't rounding and there's no knee pain, right? You're not feeling any pressure in that knee. And just pull that top leg in front. You can also grab a hold of that leg and just pull that leg in by yourself if you like, if you know how to do that. That stretch, that's fine as well. Think about dropping that tailbone. Relaxing the spine. Abs are tight for support. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we're going to slowly release the foot to the floor. Our arms are going to come out either into a T or into goalposts or cactus arms. Let's start by dropping the knee toward the floor. We're going to keep that left side down, the left shoulder and shoulder blade down. So if you need to, place a block underneath that knee so that you don't pull up on the shoulder on the other side. Once you stop moving, just take your gaze to the left. And now bring that head center, pull that belly and lift. And now we're going to take foot to floor and our gaze is going to move to the right. So again, you can have that block underneath if you need to. Head center, tummy tight, and lift. All right, let's go ahead and do that to the other side. Plant that right, left ankle across the right knee. Press that knee away, hold here, or bring those legs in. Feet are flexed, grabbing the thigh or the shin, shoulders down, tummy tight, pull. And slowly release. Arms out to the side. In whichever position you like, let's go ahead and drop foot to the floor first. So taking it over to that right. Keeping that left shoulder down. Taking your gaze to the left. And head center. Pull your belly in before you lift those legs up. And now let's go ahead and take knee toward floor. Keeping now the right shoulder blade down. Taking your gaze to the right or opposite of where your knee is going. Head stays center, pull that belly in, lift. And then let's go ahead and find your Shavasana, whatever you would like today. Traditional Shavasana is legs long, using those heels to march that spine out, hands next to the body, letting those fingers curl into the palm. But you can bend your knees, you can have feet wide, knees together, feet together, knees wide. You can just roll on to your side. If you have high blood pressure or swelling in the ankles, legs up the wall is a great option. You're just going to take your bottom against the wall and let the legs go straight up the wall as you relax back into Shavasana. So pause it if you need to get into your Shavasana position. And then when you're there, go ahead and just close those eyes. Nice big inhale. Do an audible exhale for me if you can. And just let everything release. Do that again. Big inhale. Audible exhale. One more time. Big inhale. Audible exhale. Find a rhythm of breath that works for you. Breathing as deeply as you can. If your mind starts to wander, focus on the breath, inhaling for 6 counts, exhaling for 8 counts. Feeling that body grow heavy into the mat. Continue to let the mind just relax back, blocking out any outside distractions, to-do lists, or stressors. Stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.